Hello and welcome everybody to Tuesday night update night here on iRacing. We're live with some HCK Beagles racing, all brought to you by Davidson Builders here at Michigan. And boy, oh boy, we're in for a good one. Let's get this party started by some of that national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Awesome. And thank you, everybody. As stated, tonight's race is brought to you by Davidson Builders. Go check them out on their website at davidson-builders.com. All your home update and remodel needs out of that New Jersey area, go give them some love as they're giving us some love out here, being a proud sponsor of this HCK Beagles race. 190 miles here at Michigan, and man, that 190 miles is going to be treacherous. To help aid in calling out this wonderful action, I am joined in the booth as always by Mr. Alan English. Alan, how you doing tonight, man?
Good, brother. Every time we come to Michigan, it's always fun, and this is one of those leagues that really does it right. HCK Beagles Racing League. They do have a website too. Go check out hckbeaglesracingleague.com. They got some driver bios and some league info on there. But yeah, man, it's always fun to watch here, and we just happen to have a track champion on our broadcasting crew, so we can get a little bit more of his insight when you call him up.
Yeah, that we do, but you know that's in last year's car. We're in this year's car, so I don't know how much input he's going to be able to put in here tonight. And that's Mr. Adam Turner down there on Pit Road. Adam, how you doing tonight, man?
Hashtag champion. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. I love Michigan. Y'all know that. We'll talk about it kind of throughout the race. 2 faster pairs, 75% fuel, unlimited tires. Looks like an 80 lapper, which would make for actually Louisiana math, that's 160 miles, so that's actually correct. Yeah, there's a huge update today. Changed the body style. There's a lot of changes happening. iRacing's doing some quirky stuff, so I had to delete everything on my computer just to get it loaded. So hopefully it helps the driving, and we'll see something little different tonight. Maybe some interesting things with this new update.
Yeah, just about as we take a look at tonight's racing info, you can see here, man, nice, cool track temps all the way around. So definitely a grippy racing surface out there. Other than that, everything looking nice and bright, sunshiny day. Also bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, and that is quick learning curve. I mean, with today literally being the update day and these trucks just getting a little bit of a makeover, we don't know exactly how these things are going to handle. Neither do these drivers, and so you're going to have to learn quick.
Well, they did have a 20-minute practice session. I think a lot of guys were probably didn't get to take advantage of the whole thing, probably because they were doing updates, because that update was a doozy. If you did all the included content in the update, it was upwards of almost 5 gigs. I think it was 4.5 gigs or something. It took me a while to get it downloaded. It took even longer to install, so these guys don't have much practice. It's 20 minutes max here. And
they're not practicing too much in the draft. They're kind of doing their own thing. Maybe they're doing some team stuff, but I don't even know what a gig is. But it was hell for me.
Well, it's not the thing you get frogs with. It's not that.
Yeah, so I used to do that, an annual frog gigging tournament. Y'all don't have that down there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
I gig some frogs.
Then you fry them up at the end of the entire night of craziness. Yeah, those were fun times, but they're going to have some fun times tonight here in Michigan, home of Ted Nugent. A bunch of awesome wildlife. I love Michigan.
As our drivers are out there going into this qualifying, and I got a feeling these guys, normally they stop after their 2 laps, but they might put in a few extra just to kind of keep warm and keep trying to learn this truck just a little bit more. As you see here, the 25 of Mark Collins just finishing up, currently starting in 7th, so a pretty good effort there from Mark, who got one of the newer additions to the HCK, and you see him here normally on tomorrow night, and that's Mr. Albert Anderson, driving in his number 2 truck, America's Driver paint scheme here.
Well, why not take advantage of the extra 10 minutes you got here? I mean, you said it. You got to do your 2 qualifying laps, but you don't have to put it back on pit road right away. Just get out there and turn some more and run the clock out, because they do have a full 10 minutes to get those 2 laps in.
Yeah, I mean, might as well if you hadn't done a lot of running today. I think we're going to see some things that might be a little bit different, with these trucks.
Well, they didn't change a whole lot of chassis stuff, did they? It was just kind of an aero package deal, or?
Yeah, but the aero package, here
means a lot, don't it?
Yeah, and especially in that backstretch, you get thrown around like a, windstorm. If you in the old package, we'll see how the new package can be. As it tightens up there, this is my favorite saying. I feel like I've said it 500 times to y'all recently, but coming out of 2. It really feels like it tightens up on that backstretch, and that's where you see a lot of stuff happen.
Derek Bucket putting in a pretty decent time there. One of his laps was a 40:11. That's good enough for 3rd so far.
Yes, sir. It's Joshua Moore out there on the racetrack. One of those Team America drivers in that 51.
Andrew Hansley out there. Andrew Hansley's made he's made a bunch of laps here in qualifying, it looks like. He's out there taking advantage of all that practice.
He's got fans out there. I'm sure they're going to be watching tonight. I like how all these guys have a little fan club. You know, their family or friends. They support them and by watching, and that really gives us kind of a shot in the arm to do this because we like racing and stuff, but I love hearing from what the fans say. You know, it's kind of fan sport. If you're not driving it, you should be watching it, right? So
Yeah.
we're just here to kind of observe and report.
So far out on YouTube land, we've got Jesse Parks and Greg Coleman ready to get this thing cranking, and Brantley Roden of Harpoon Design says, "Is the aspect ratio off tonight?" Well, we did just have an update. I'm not sure if that's going to have anything to do with the aspect ratio on the broadcast.
I'm kind of looking at it. It looks a little tweaked for some reason, and I'm assuming that's going to be an update situation. We'll get it ironed out for tomorrow night and future races. They throw us a
Appreciate the
little
feedback.
lemons. We got to make lemonade out of it.
Gregory Turner saying Matt Jones is in 1, Derek Welch is in the 12, Austin Johnson in the 19th, Carol Hansley, of course, pulling for Andrew. Yeah, there's a big update today, and that's going to cause some of the driver numbers to be different than their usual numbers, but we'll get it figured out, get them called out as best we can.
Yeah, just what we needed is a little more confusion, you know?
Yeah, throw some more monkey wrenches at us there, iRacing.
Yeah. We don't have enough issues as it is. They went to cooler stock, though. Track is actually kind of cool. It's in the 60s. I don't know if it's warmed up at all. Yeah, about 69 degrees. It's going to make it a little grippy. So these guys may think they might get a little too cocky out there. That surface. We'll see.
So far, 27 trucks registered for this race. That's a couple fewer than we usually see. We usually see low 30s car counts, or truck counts, I should say, for this league. But
That could also be due. I mean, when you're talking a 4 gigabyte update, if you're, not on the fastest of internets or whatever, I mean, that's going to take a while.
Eddie Murray. Sorry,
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Eddie Murray on Facebook saying, "Let's go, Brandon."
Look good.
Of course, pulling for Brandon Coleman probably, but if not, I know
either
enough.
way. Yeah, you got to pull for that guy. He needs all the help he can get. This download's almost like Kyle Busch blowing his tire in practice and having to go to the backup car. That's what we're dealing with here. We saw that this weekend. He's just an angry guy, you know. Angry racer. Sometimes they're the best ones.
That's a Bay Area Rob Chowdhury is putting in a couple extra laps here, trying to get a qualifying time in. He's going to be cutting it a little close here. His qualifying's going to be finishing up here in just a minute.
Yeah, White Wolf 599 saying this it's been affecting everybody. Talking about that update.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Brandon. No, he's talking about the update.
Maybe that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, we're having issues with both at the moment. The update. I had to have you English help me get through it because it tried to destroy my computer.
It did.
And I appreciate that.
You bet, man. Got a little bit of time left, about 30 seconds left. Looks like just
Couple of
about
different-
everybody's made their lap.
Paint schemes we hadn't seen. Brian Skidmore, Southern Outlaws truck, and Rodney Griffin, Southern Outlaws truck. So, it's different paints we're going to see tonight. Should be kind of cool.
It should be, as Bay Area Rob putting in a time just outside of that top 20 mark so far. But, I mean, really just looking through this field, I mean, you got the 110 of Richard Michelob Gray currently the last car that has taken a lap at a 40.72, and Albert Anderson was like a 40, almost a 40 flat. So we're in for some tight racing here from Michigan. It looks like qualifying is up, and we're getting ready to take to this grid. Let me...
7/10 of a second over a 2-mile track. That is tight.
Let me get the right stuff up here. Here we go as we do our official starting grid rundown here tonight. Albert Anderson in that 2 is going to be starting up at that front with the 6 of Paul Durkee right beside him there in second. You got the 8 of Derek Rowdy Puckett starting here in third with Kevin Winker in the 42 in that outside line starting in fourth. You got the 1 of Matthew Jones, Mr. Chef himself. Welcome back, buddy, as he's going to be starting here in fifth. You got the 5 of Stephen Naylor starting in sixth. The 120 of Zach Dillon will be starting here in seventh, with the 51 of Joshua Moore running here in eighth. The 88, Zach Staten, starting here in ninth. And your current points leader, the 27 of Curtis Critchley, is rounding out tonight's top 10.
The number 66 truck of Paul Ferdiani will be starting in 11th place. 12th place will be Brandon Coleman in the 54. 25 truck of Mark Collins will be starting in 13th. And 14th, right on his outside, Derek Welch in the 12. Cale Turbeville in the 64 will be starting in 15th. Right to his outside, Eddie Murray in the 33 truck. Cody Staten in the 15 will be starting in 17th, and 18th will be Andrew Hansley the 4th in the 24. The 22 of Albert McBride will start 19th. The 20 of Justin Lawson will be starting in 20th.
There you go. Number 7 of Rick LePage, 21st. The 408 of Bay Area Rob Chowdhury, 22nd. 19 of Austin Johnson, 23rd. 110, Richard Michelob Gray, the oldest guy in iRacing. He's 24th.
Oh,
90, I had to. 97 of Rodney Griffin, 25th, and Brian Skidmore, 26th. I believe Gregory Turner's probably out there doing race control, which he's been doing the last few weeks.
I'm watching the Twitch feed, and I do see what they were talking about. It does look like it's stretched top to bottom a little bit tonight. You can see those pit board signs are supposed to be square, and they are pretty tall looking rectangles. So we're gonna try to get that ironed out for you guys before the next stream. But yeah, that's what we get with the good old technology.
Yeah, updates.
Keep us guessing.
All that mess. I wouldn't know what to do without y'all with the technology. I don't even know barely how to get on here. I'm like Richard Gray. I know how to hit the buttons. I'm just kind of watching.
Joel Moore pulling for the 51, of course. The Muhlenberger Custom Homes machine of Joshua Moore, starting in 8th. Here we go, guys. Another fun day at Michigan.
Another fun day here at Michigan as that pace truck comes down and off of the racing surface into pit road. Albert and Paul lining us up 2 by 2. We get to go green flag racing here. First time tonight here at Michigan, setting it off down into turns 1 and 2, side by side, all the way through this field. We expect these guys to be side by side for a good chunk of the opening laps here until everyone's able to kind of figure out their space and get whatever run they want to roll in here. As man, Paul Durkee not making it easy for Albert Anderson to come up to that high line to start arcing into these corners. As here comes the 8 of Rowdy Puckett down low, trying to make up some ground here early. As you can see him making the pass there on the 6 of Durkee, and now looking to the inside of that 2 of Albert Anderson.
Yeah, a little bit of a difficult restart there for Zach Dillon in I think he's the 120 machine. I don't know if he missed a gear or what, but they stacked up behind him pretty bad. He apologized over the radio. It's just one of them bad situations where you just don't get a good restart. 3 wide back here with Coleman in the middle. Low and Critchley on the high side as they go down the backstretch.
They were able to figure that one out. Oh no, as the one of Matthew Jones is starting to blink a little bit there, causing a little bit of a checkup for that 54.
Yeah, and we've seen that with him. He's got some kind of internet issue. I don't know if he's out in the boonies or what, but
as we got contact up at the front. Durkee and Anderson went tire rubbing here early, and thankfully both drivers able to keep it off the wall but not off each other, so there was some beating and banging. Oh, another big body check there for Albert Anderson. I didn't see who that was. I think that might have been the 20. Was it the one?
It was 20?
27?
I think it was the 27 of Curtis Critchley, as we're 3 wide back here. Albert Anderson losing a little bit of ground as we've got some beating and banging. Everybody throwing their muscle around here early, as up here in the front, the 42 of Kevin Winker looking to make a pass on that 8 of Rowdy Puckett.
The 2 does have some left side aero damage, so we're going to watch that. They do have some fast repairs, though, so he'll get that fixed on the next pit stop here.
Yeah, you just got to hang in there at this point, but I thought Albert Anderson, America's driver, listened to me. That backstretch is a monster. Come on, Albert.
Yeah, going through turns 3 and 4 side by side. Puckett and Winker. He's also got that 6 of Paul Durkee, looking to the outside, maybe trying to make it 3 wide. No, he's going to sit there and wait as that one of Matthew Jones continues to battle up here towards the front as well. A little bit different paint schemes out there tonight, as people didn't have their normal ones quite loaded up for these newer body styles, and everyone trying to hasten their customization looks. And so we're seeing a new different look for some of these guys here.
Yeah, and it gets a little confusing for us because we're still trying.
We're used to our guys.
Yeah, normal paints and.
Whoa! Check this 3 wide action out. Almost going to be 4 wide. Nope, not quite.
Oh man, tight racing here. The 27 trying to send it up through that middle, not quite able to, but we're still going to be 3 wide behind them with the 51, the 1, and the 88. Man, oh man, still beating and banging at bumper action as Kevin Winker is able to take that lead away. Still side-by-side racing, though.
Do I need to get on the comms and let them know they still have 73 to go here?
I'm telling you,
they're feeling real good with those Goodyear tires, aren't they? They must be feeling real good with that cool track, so they might get a little overconfident.
Oh man!
One's around.
Oh man, I think that's all netcode situation going on there for Matthew Jones, and that's gonna bring out the yellow flag, as because he ended up just teleporting straight on through just about everybody there.
Yeah, he did have a little contact with somebody there.
Looks like it was
120 come down on him.
No, it looked like the 1 drifted up the track and into him, so I don't know if he couldn't see him on his end, and like I said, luckily he was able to teleport through the field there. It's the 22 locking him down to avoid the contact with him later on.
Well, Yucca Farmer Gaming on YouTube saying let's go. I think he's probably pulling for the Numb Thumbs guys out there, Numb Thumbs Racing. And Lofi Evans says go Albert Anderson. Pulling for Double A out there. What else we got? Mr. Bruce Muleberger joining us over there on the Facebook. Pulling for Team America. Appreciate you, Bruce. Charlie Anderson saying go Kevin Winker. Chef Boy RD, of course, he's out there running tonight. Matthew Jones. Kevin Winker's predicting a pretty good race tonight. I believe he's going to be right. Once we get some good long green flag runs under our belts here, it's going to be a blast for sure.
They're all coming down at this point. Why not? Let's follow the leader right here into pit road and see what happens.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But I mean, you also gotta look at it as, you know, typically we see tire fall off here starting right around lap 10 to 12, I would say, right, Adam. So being here lap 9, probably the good call. You don't want to be sitting out there like a sitting duck.
Yeah, and with this cooler track temps, I think you know, you get those tires. Once you get those tires warmed up, you may even get into the. They might feel real good up to about lap 15. So I don't know. I think it's a good call. Let's come on down and get this thing cranked back up.
Brantley Roden's saying, what happened to Lichty? I haven't seen him. He might have been one of those guys that didn't quite make it in, maybe because of an update problem or something. I really don't know. Have not seen him tonight. And Numb Thumbs Gaming Community saying, let's go NTG. Here to support their own over here racing in HCK Beagles Racing League.
Well, Albert Anderson's still in the pits. I don't know about the fast repair deal or what his plan is down there.
Dave Mabry's watching him on Facebook. He's like, come on, let's go, Albert. He had a bad first few laps here so far.
I'm listening in, and I heard the new update sucks. It's so apparently there's some issues out there.
They blew it.
Well, then somebody says they think it's better, so I mean, it's going to have to play itself out.
Chiefland RC Raceway joining us on Facebook saying, man, I wish I was racing with you guys. Just got off of work. Go Zach Dillon. Going for Zach out there in the 120 machine. Zach a part of that last caution as a couple of cars kind of or trucks I should say, try to ghost through each other.
Maybe on the next caution, if we have one, we'll pull somebody up and see what they think about the updates and how this race feels in the truck. You know, it looks very similar to us, but we're not in the truck driving it.
And that it does, as Eddie Murray, your favorite ball player from the Orioles, is going to be starting us off with Andrew Hansley on that outside. Justin Lawson also did not pit. He's going to be starting here in third. Other than that, everybody came down to take at least some fuel, maybe some fresh rubber, as we got varying degrees of pit times all the way across the board, as maybe one of those new update aspects of your spotter actually calling out the number of pit stops until your box, man, might be throwing some of these guys off.
Oh, did they add that?
Yes, they did.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to get back in the car and start racing again. Here we go.
Just might have to, as that pace truck making that dive down off into pit road. Here we go again. Green flag racing. Great restart there for that number 33 of Eddie Murray, way out in front. He's going to be well clear of Andrew and Justin. Everyone trying to get all stacked up back and racing behind him, as the 27 of Critchley chasing down that 42 of Kevin Winker, racing for third and fourth right now, but definitely expect them to make some moves, especially with those newer tires up here at that front. Paul Durkee also looking to hang on to this kind of lead pack of trucks with Derek Rowdy Puckett there as well. Kind of single filed out a little bit here. I think a little bit more tame of a restart just in general, but man, all that's just going to do is leave a little extra room for some side-by-side racing here coming down this later stretch, as the 51 of Joshua Moore looks to the inside of Rowdy Puckett right now.
Andrew Hansley lost a little bit of ground on that restart, but he's still solid here in the
hard
top
contact. 10. Oh, no, there goes the 51 of Joshua Moore. Oh, no, that's going to bring out the yellow flag.
Yes, what did I tell you about the backstretch, boys? And Eddie Murray apologized for that. Do you think that was a situation where he probably should have pitted?
I don't know, man. Let's see exactly what happened here with our Super fresh chopper cam.
Yeah, 33, definitely. Man,
Oh, he got loose coming off of number 2, and
nobody listens to me how it tightens up right there.
Yeah, then we got mayhem going on right after that from trucks trying to avoid each other. You have the 15 of Cody Staten taking a trip through the grass.
Rowdy Puckett got a little bit of right front damage, or left front damage, but hopefully it ain't too bad.
But Joshua Moore just got smoked on that.
Yeah, he lost the engine too, I think.
That's terrible. I hope we can get limp back around. But look, do I need to put on a clinic before these Michigan races? We'll all get in a server together and I'll teach you the way, right? It tightens up right there as you're coming out. If you're not given a little bit of space, man, that type of stuff can happen.
You might have to do a lap or two and tell them this is the way, you know. Show them how it's done. But
Michigan does create some really awesome racing, especially as we get into the later part of the race. Y'all will see 3 and 4 are where you can make your money.
And that is kind of what it's all about, especially kind of towards that end, is those final turns. We've seen a lot of great races get decided in those final turns. The problem is you just got to make it to that point, and we're still a good chunk of the way off from doing that. Like 65 laps or so. So these guys need to, kind of just settle down, buckle in for the long haul, and we'll see some great racing here.
Yep, a very, very long way to go here. 14 laps in the books out of 80. Not even a quarter of the way there.
Yeah, you better make sure you got the cooler ready, because this is going to be a long one if they keep this up. I think they're going to kind of straighten it out. I think the update probably had something to do with what's happening out there. It's probably drives a little different, and if you're used to driving it one way for a year or whatever, it's going to take some getting used to.
Well, Dave Mabry is watching tonight on Facebook. Hopefully he'll relay to his guys over at Vigilante, who we're doing Vigilante Racing League race tomorrow with the trucks. So maybe Dave put something in the chat over there and say, hey, everybody get this update done, and go ahead and check your truck out, make sure your paint still fits and all that, because we're seeing some of that as well. And the numbers. The league numbers might need to be checked out on the page as well, just to make sure it didn't reset everybody's stuff, because we got a lot of wrong numbers out here.
We're on day 1 of this thing, and kind of like you never buy the first gen of any kind.
Right. The first year model.
Yeah, we never would if they changed the body style. Well, did it bite you?
No, not yet. Still got it.
Okay. Well, that's just my general rule. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
think a lot of people are like that, though.
Yeah, I got a feeling probably a good chunk of that problem is them renaming the Toyota truck that we know a couple guys like to run here, and that's probably causing some of those problems.
You know what? That's the Toyotas are the ones with the wrong numbers, aren't they?
Yeah, look. At least a couple of them, yeah.
I think that might be part of our issue then.
Did you say Toyota?
Hush.
It's a Toyota, right? Or is it a Toyota?
That's what I said.
All right.
Well, right now the top Toyota that you're talking about there is the 12 Derek Welch, currently sitting up there in a top 10. So looking to make a move here as that pace truck comes down into pit lane once again, and we're back to green flag racing. A good restart there for Kevin Winker up at the front. He's able to get clear of Curtis Critchley and kind of jump right on up and start taking his racing line that he wants to around here in that open air, as we had some two wide racing going on behind him. But after that, everything's starting to kind of smooth its way on out here. as it looks like maybe that 20 of Justin Lawson is going to be facing some pressure from the 88 of Zach Staten here in just a second.
That number 20 Jim Beam Chevrolet of Justin Lawson's been on a tear tonight. Up 16 spots. That Jim Beam truck is quick. Oh,
yeah, and it looks good too.
Oh, yeah.
As we're almost going to be 3 wide up here for the lead. The 6 of Paul Durkee sees the pass in action that is going on between Critchley and Winker, and he's like, maybe I want to get involved in this, and just didn't quite have the run to work on that outside. So we'll have to wait and see how long that 6 of Durkee is willing to wait, as they are still side by side as they go through turns 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4.
Well, this pack back here with Cale Turbeville right in the middle of it, and that Klondike number 64 Chevrolet, these guys have really been fighting this pack of 4 or 5 trucks. It looks like Cale's kind of not been able to find his way around anybody just yet. Coleman's on a rail tonight. That truck is really fast.
Man, talk about a driver that is really needing a win here in this series, and not only that, but really deserves it. I mean, the results really just don't show for that that truck there of Cale Turbeville as we're riding around on his roof right now. Man, he gets finish after finish, just hasn't gotten that top spot yet.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him have a good run as long as he doesn't get collected any of this. That's a heck of a paint there. Chromed out Klondike truck. Looks really good, and he's having a really solid run. He's got that thing shaped up perfectly.
Yeah, one of our many Georgia boys that run in this league. Doing what he can here at the back of this pack, running that low line. I got a question for you, Adam. Does running the low line for an extended period of time, does that really affect your right front too bad here? I mean, can you run that line, consistently and still keep up with the outside?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you lift. If you're being conservative with it, you can do it. But I think with the other guys, the aggression on the outside, it's going to tend to make you push a little harder. So personally, I'd like to kind of ride a little high here until maybe the end, but everybody's different.
As we're going to be 3 wide here for the lead, the 54 of Brandon Coleman with the run on the inside, trying to make the pass, but not quite enough run to get clear. So we're 3 wide as we come across the line. Brandon Coleman, Curtis Critchley, and Kevin Winker battling it out for the lead, and this is just blocking up the track for all the guys behind him. But between Paul Durkee and Cale Turbeville here as they finally break that 3 wide.
Well, that was magic.
Moved on down, but oh yeah, you're right about that. It was magic that didn't end up in a bunch of twisted sheet metal out
That's
on the track.
Yeah, it looked like 5 o'clock traffic on the Katy Freeway westbound on a Friday afternoon, except there's no pistols hanging out the window.
Everybody's trying to get out of town.
Yeah, that was really impressive racing actually there, and good to see him hold it. And I think they learned a little bit there, but as these tires wear, you better watch yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, that might be harder to do once they, wear these tires in real good, but keeping it pretty safe up here.
Yeah.
Race around each other quite a bit.
As we are side by side all the way back through this field, man, it's starting to look almost like a plate track out there as these guys starting to catch their rhythm. Oh, it's a 54, gives the 42 a little bit of a body shove there, shove them out, kind of out towards that outside line, side by side here for second and third. You can see that 64 of Cale Turbeville trying to push that 54 up into trying to get him up past the leaders here is the 42. As we got some problems.
Oh, he got T-boned by the...
Oh, my lordy. Wow, broadcaster's curse.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I was watching Brian Skidmore in the 75. He had a good distance from the lead pack, but he was hanging with him. I think he put himself in a great spot. He had plenty of time to lift and get out of that one, and he did, avoided all that, but man, that was a mess.
Trying to see who that was that ended up T-boning the 64 as he spun down the track. It didn't really have anywhere to go. It was the HCK Beagles sponsored truck. Let's see who driving that one.
Oh, I think it's the 120 of Zach Dillon who just got into the side of him there. Let's go back to our favorite chopper pilot in the air, keeping our action all nice and tight. Oh, just a little loose coming off of turn number 2, and jumps out in front of up into Kale. There is.
He caught a piece of the apron.
Oh no! It's I believe 19 Austin Johnson getting a chunk of Cale Turville there too.
That's who it was, Austin Johnson.
Yeah, the turn 2 coming out of it, it's like the funnel of death, man. You can't make any mistakes there. It tightens up. I feel like I'm saying it way too much because we've done Michigan races probably 10 times in the last 2 months. But it never fails. It's like it happens every race.
Well, it looks like we're getting a bunch of takers coming down the pit lane.
That we do, all being led by Curtis Critchley here. I think just about everybody on that lead lap that wasn't involved in that wreck is all coming down into the pit lane, trying to get some of that new rubber and whatnot. As looks like the 19 Austin Johnson pitted earlier ended up coming out in front. Justin Lawson also trying to get some laps back maybe, but Kevin Winker winning that race off of pit road from Curtis Critchley there. Man, that was a close one. Kevin with a very quick pit time there. Paul Durkee as well, staying in that top 5.
Justin Lawson decided to stay out. He pitted back on lap 1. Joshua Moore found his way back into the top 10 by staying out. Of course, he was involved in the last wreck about lap 11 or 12.
Well, you think we got time to bring up maybe Albert Anderson, give him a shout and see how those trucks are working?
Let's see what he has to say about it. He's
had
a rough day.
Hopefully he knows, but I'm going to bring him up. Albert, you made your way to the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. We just had a couple of real quick questions about, what about this new package and how it's affecting some of the racing out there?
I like it. I mean, it feels a hair different, but for the most part, I think it's pretty much the same setup. The paints don't quite match up on the Silverado and the F-150. They don't match up at all on a Toyota because that's such a radical change. But yeah, I think it's good.
Well, Dave Mayberry is watching you on Facebook. He says, tell Albert to keep his cool out there. You're doing the best you can, but hey, when you get involved in some early incidents,
Yeah, somebody didn't like me out there leading, and I got a door put on me. So I got to bounce back from that. I'm the new guy on the block, so, nobody's going to respect me quite yet, but, we'll get there.
Well, good luck out there the rest of the race, man. Keep it together.
Awesome. Thank you, guys, and I love what y'all are doing in the booth, and hopefully we'll get a podium finish, and I'll talk to you at the end of the night.
All right.
All righty. Yeah, I think I got him squared away. Good to hear from some of these guys out here.
Yes, indeed. Albert currently just outside of that top 10. We're trying to claw his way back up after, as you said, not being appreciated, being in the lead there, getting a little bit of a Doran, as they would probably say here at in these NASCAR trucks. But here we go, getting ready to go back to green flag racing here with Kevin Winker and Curtis Critchley up at that front. You also got the 12 of Derek Welch. He's up there as well as Man, Kevin Winker, another great restart there, able to get right on out in front of that 27, really without too much of a problem. That's also going to allow some of these guys that started behind him, like Paul Durkee in that 6, use that buildup of speed that he found on that bottom line to try to make up some spots here early as well.
Yep, using that bottom line to get fast early. And I'm with you, Adam. I like running that outside as much as I can, though, just to kind of preserve some momentum and conserve some tires.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best route here. But hey, I'm no professional. I've only won this one time. I think I won it once, but once was enough to call myself a champion. But I agree with you. Run that outside. Be careful of that wall coming out of 2. Be careful of the guy below you, and you should, survive. And once you get into those last 10 laps, that's when you can really put it on them.
Carl Short joining us on Facebook, pulling for the number 2 of Anderson. Go ahead, Alan.
I was going to say, talk about someone who's been surviving out here. That's that 75 of Brian Skidmore finding his way up into this top 10. 18 spots on the day so far, driving that 75 machine around like he knows what he's doing, and just being very patient and calm out there, making the moves when he can and quietly shuffling up through this field.
Yeah, I really liked what he was doing earlier. He was the last car on just probably 100 yards behind that lead pack. Just it looked like he was watching, just kind of watching what they were doing, getting plenty of time to slow down for that last incident. And I just kind of like that kind of driving.
Winker's 3 wide up here with the 12 and the 6. Now you got the 1 looking low on the 66 and the 8.
Yeah, they're getting after it now.
They're pushing it.
That they are. That Chefworks machine of Matthew Jones using every little bit of that apron that he can to try to get a run here. As no! Comes up, and this is going to cause a big pile up here. Yes, it does.
And the 1, I don't know if he heard his spot or something. He just
he was into it, man. I don't know. Yeah, and one of the drivers said he saw that coming, and yeah, you kind of could have, couldn't you?
He looked like he was holding the low line, and then all of a sudden he just
came
slid right up into everybody.
Yeah, Paul Durkee's talking on the radio. He's not real happy.
Yeah, he's not happy either. I'm sure the driver of the Shift Works machine's not happy with himself either. But he had one heck of a run there for a minute.
Yeah, he came up and collected Derek Welch, Paul Durkee, and then just went straight down to the bottom. I didn't see what happened behind him.
He's also had the 27 have to try to check up because of that. The 75 checked up. We were just talking about him, that 75, man. He ends up going for a wild ride in that 75. Big damage to his truck.
Somebody plowed into the back of the 27. He's got some major damage on the rear end. His spoiler and his tailgate are caved in.
There's a couple things happening here. I'll let you know. Number 1 truck has been black flagged, so his night is over.
Is he doing a pass-through penalty, or is he
no black flag? Isn't that what black flag means?
Well, it means you're going to serve a penalty, but
I think he said it. I think
he
said he was. I think they DQ'd him. That's what I was listening on the radio. Had a lot going on. I'm hitting buttons, but we'll have to pay attention. But I think he's done for the night.
You can see that 12 machine of Derek Welsh as well, having some of that back end damage. And Paul Durkee, man, he just got damaged all the way around. He got really squeezed out of that. Just really nowhere to go. He was literally between a rock and a number 12 being that Derek Welsh car.
Brown, if you could take a look at somehow inside or around Albert Anderson's truck, boy, he got lucky. He saw it going, and he made it all the way around him and just bypassed everyone. Made a great evasive decision to go low and survived that thing.
He did. He was actually very lucky. He was too wide with someone at that moment, and he was able to. He was on that low side, So he was able to use all of that apron on the backstretch that it offers there. So that too of Albert Anderson getting a little bit of luck there.
So what you're saying is when y'all exit 2 and you're coming on the backstretch, you better have an escape route.
Yeah,
because it's going to happen again.
Yeah, I've said it time and time again. You have to stay in between the yellow line and the wall, right? But if something happens, dive down in there. Try to survive because there's a lot of concrete down there.
Yeah, once you get
race
turned,
on
it's
it.
too late.
Right.
Angry Indian 89 joining us on Twitch. Thank you, Angry Indian. Pulling for America's Tribe.
As I'm kind of looking back through this field, you got Rodney Griffin in that 97. He's just up inside of that top 15 right now, looking like he's going to maybe make a little bit of a run here, try to get up into that top 10. You also got, let's see here, Andrew Hansley trying to make up a few spots, Richard Michelob Gray trying to make up a few spots. I know the 75 of Brian Skidmore's out there. He's going to be trying to get a lap or two back here and get back up into this mix. You also got the 25 of Mark Collins. He's been trying to keep everything clean and clear in that Num Thumbs gaming machine. Just looking maybe to kind of find that rhythm and find his way up towards this front.
Yeah, Richard Gray, another one of those Num Thumbs racing team members, got his lap back on that last caution. Old Richard going to try to work his way back up through the field. Lined up, about ready to roll here.
The oldest driver in iRacing got a lap back. That's good for him. And maybe I was mistaken. Is Jones still out there? I don't want to make an error in my call.
Looks like he is. Yeah, I think he just had to come serve a pass through, or maybe a stop.
He's on double secret probation at this point.
Yeah, I think he is.
Anyway. Go ahead, Brown.
As the pace truck comes back down into pit lane, we're almost to that halfway mark of lap 40 here. As we go back to green flag racing, man, Kevin Winker has these restarts on absolute lockdown, able to get way out in front of the 54. Brandon Coleman driving that old Crown machine as, or is that Old Crow? Excuse me.
Old Crow.
They're taking that under the bridge over here by my house.
I think I said during one of the broadcasts that when I was a young, poor enlisted man, I put away plenty of that Old Crow.
Sorry,
that's about all I can afford.
We had to interject there. Go ahead.
As both Coleman and Anderson both get crazy runs here on that 42, so it doesn't always pay off to get the best of restarts. Oh, as the 2 getting a little loose, gets up and door checks the 54.
Here we go, 3 wide. Teammates 3 wide right here going into 1. Hopefully they work this out. That is not where you want to be with some teammates.
Now you got basically all 4 of Team America up there, up at the front between Moore, Staten, Winker, and Staten.
Team America surrounded by America's driver. Look at that. That's pretty interesting.
That's a lot of American flags in a small area.
I like that. You can never have too many.
And just like that as well, the 12 of Derek Welch is back up into this mix. He's trying to make up some ground here up the inside of Albert Anderson there. Is the 88 throwing a little bit of body paint around.
The 66, Paul Ferdiani had to take an evasive maneuver there to avoid getting collected. They're 3 wide right behind him now. The Staten boys and the 33 of 3 wide.
Yes, sir. It's the 64 of Cale Turbeville making his move here, coming back from one of those kind of little mistakes, not on his end, just getting involved in a caution. He's clawing his way back up, back into this top 10 right now. Like you said, battling it with the 33, trying to get around him, and he is able to do so. As up here at the front, that 12 of Derek Welsh, he's not sitting waiting around. He's taking this lead right now as he's up the inside of the 51, but the 51's got the run on that outside line here, going side by side down the back straightaway and into turns number 3 and 4.
Rodney Griffin back here in this 97 Bud Light machine, Southern Outlaws machine. He's having a pretty solid race, just staying out of trouble. That 97 Chevrolet, watch him to be maybe somewhere up near the front as this thing starts to wind down.
Man, I'll tell you, and Brandon Coleman in the old Crow truck has been getting a little squirrely, but he's been holding it. He is pushing this thing to the max. He's driving it like he stole it.
Derek Welch up in the lead right now in that number 12 Numb Thumbs gaming machine. Working his way up 13 spots.
As we're
64-66.
3 wide, and also the 88 of Zach Staten, all going through turns 3 and 4. They're able to figure out the 3 wide before they came back across the line, but you also got the 5 of Steven Naylor. Haven't really said his name much here tonight. He's racing up here inside this top 10, trying to claw out some sort of good finish here. As we're going to be 3 wide up here, almost for the lead again. 3 wide for second between Winker, Coleman, and Moore.
And they're coming up on lap traffic. This is going to get insane.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not good.
That's Matthew Jones in the one truck ahead of him. We're going to see some stuff happen here, I think.
He's got Rick LePage up in front of him and Andrew Hansley. A couple more lap trucks. A couple more guys on the lead lap trying to stay on the lead lap.
So
we'll see if they continue to try to stay on it or if they let these leaders by. Go ahead, sir.
As we head through turns 1 and 2, everything's starting to maybe single file out a little bit. Ooh, little bit of wall contact back there for the 88, maybe the 64 as well, just drifting out of that turn just a little bit too far. Like you said, Adam, this wall will reach out and grab you without any mercy. So these guys especially starting to maybe feel a little bit of this older tire situation. Oh, as we got a truck going flipping down into the grass.
That's Albert McBride in the 22 Harley Davidson machine. Yeah, he's got a little bit of damage on the right side of that truck as well now as he smacks the outside wall. The yellow is out.
A couple things happened there. Matthew Jones was saved by that caution as the train was coming down his way.
As we take a look-see and see, oh, man. Looks like a little bit of contact there as we were 3 wide between the 27 and quite a few guys here. We actually got to scroll that one back quite far. So let's go to our chopper cam to get a really good look at this one. Oh, the 15 of Cody Staten involved as well. Oh, the 8 just drifting up a little bit, and that caused him to drift up into that 27, and man, he just absolutely shammered that 22 of Albert McBride, who went for the ride of a lifetime there.
Shammered him all over the place.
That's a good one. Curtis Critchley got pinched right into the wall and then came down and just destroyed McBride.
Wow.
Well, let's see what to do here. 42 staying low like he's going to come in. I don't know if he's going to stay there or not.
You know, I would imagine so. We're just past halfway at this point. I would expect to see some of these guys coming in. They last pitted right around lap 30, so we're right around that kind of 10 lap mark again. So I'm sure these guys are all going to be coming down and taking one of their full-on stops. And just one last thing to note here for that 22 of McBride, man. If you were watching it like I did from that in-car cam, man, he did not see it coming. He thought he was free and clear. Oh, as we got a truck out there in the grass, maybe not able to see quite where pit lane was.
33, yeah, he did a little grass cutting. Still able to get on pit road, though.
Yeah, but
and the,
basically, go
75
ahead,
got his lap back. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying we're roughly halfway through, right? So let's get these things freshened up. Let's get another good 20 laps in us. Something else is going to happen. These guys are super aggressive here, but this track makes you aggressive. It just it kind of lulls you into thinking, well, I can make it here. I know that because I'm a champion. I used to do the same thing until I became a champion. You get to a point where you feel really, really good with the truck, and all of a sudden the tire wear or your neighbor, something changes, and that's why we start to see these incidents. So it's a little bit of aggression, a little bit of the track, a little bit of the truck, but nonetheless, it's fun.
That is a great point. Yeah, the 24, Andrew Hansley stayed out, probably just to maybe lead a lap. I don't know if he's going to
he's
come
working
back down or not. But
harder than the real Mrs. Poindexter here.
Yeah.
Yahtzee.
And our good buddy Adam Strom from Minnesota joining us on the YouTube stream, saying, "Howdy, fellas. I'm really digging those Team America paint jobs. He loves the patriotic theme that team has. We do too, man. We really enjoy it when guys go all out. We love the creative paints that, like, check out the 12, man. This Numb Thumbs machine with Mac tools on the back bed cover of this Toyota. Derek Welch, of course, Numb Thumbs Gaming."
Oh yeah, but you know else who has some good kind of designs going on? That's tonight's race sponsor of Davidson Builders. Excuse me, man, that was terrible timing for that cough. Davidson Builders. You can go check them out at davidson-builders.com. If you're looking to upgrade or remodel parts or your entire home, go give them a look out, especially in that New Jersey area, as they got a whole portfolio of their work. You can see all the photos and all the modernizations that they got going on there on their website, and give them a call and look them up, because they put in a lot of work here to be a part of the HCK Beagles. So time to pay it back a little bit and go give them a little bit of business as well. So go check them out at davidson-builders.com.
Yeah, they've been in business for 23 years. They use state-of-the-art parts, state-of-the-art expertise over there. So they've been around a long time, serving the Cape May County area of New Jersey and the surrounding area. So even if you're just close to Cape May County, look them up, give them a call, and see if they can do some work for you.
They could, as we're going to be going back to green flag racing here. 36 laps remain with the 24 of Andrew Hansley out in front. Green flag racing here once again. He's able to get very clean into the lead here off that start, but we've seen time and time again, once when these guys get up to speed, they can roll right on through like a freight train, almost like if you jump the start a little too much at a plate track. As here we go, that 42 of Kevin Winker not waiting around, looking to make the pass here for that lead, as he is able to easily do that. But we're going to be going 3 wide here. That 51 of Joshua Moore also getting a big run with the 12 of Derek Welsh on that outside line. Man, almost 4 wide here is that 66 of Paul Ferdiani, looking like he wants to get into some of this racing action as these guys dive on down into that kind of apron part of the front straightaway. And we're starting to kind of figure things slowly out here, as that 54 of Brandon Coleman looking to make some moves here as he tries to slide up in front.
They just can't help themselves, can they?
No. No.
I mean, it's wild. It's like the Wild West out here.
Man, you ain't kidding us. They were 3 wide there for the lead for just a second. 42 of Kevin Winker taking that lead back, but here comes that 2 of Albert Anderson with a mega run. He's passed like 3 or 4 trucks just that lap alone. He's looking to make up a ton of ground here, as we got this big old shuffleboard going on up at the front.
Yeah, Carol Hansley pulling for Andrew, saying, "You can do it, Andrew," pulling for that 24 machine, that Dukes of Hazzard theme machine out there tonight. And just older tires, and these guys just had all the momentum in the world, and he held on to it for as long as he could there. But this thing ain't old.
No, that's far from over. Look at what's happening up front here. That's some fun racing, man. It's fun to watch. It just it'll get my blood pressure up.
It makes me nervous. You got trucks running on the apron and sliding up in front of other trucks, and It's just it's unnerving to watch. And Gregory Turner reminds us, don't forget to check them out at HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com if you want to see some driver bios, schedule, standings, and most importantly, sponsor info. Go check out the sponsors that make this league possible and make this broadcast coverage possible. So definitely go check them out at HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com.
Yeah, the bios are really cool, so check that out. I know we got a lot of racing going on, but when you get a chance, check it out.
As we are 3 wide there, and it looks like we're going to be going back 3 wide here again. This is for second. You got Paul Ferdiani, Joshua Moore, and Kevin Winker all battling it out up here at the front. And man, we see a lot of position changes and whatnot at these, plate racing tracks and whatnot that HCK does. But here at Michigan, man, these guys are putting on an absolute show up here at the front. You see guys shuffling to and fro. This is one of your champ to chump to champ kind of situations going on, Turner.
Yeah, I know, and that seems like it's would more fit a super speedway. This is kind of a tweener. I say that a lot, but it's a tweener between a super speedway and your cookie cutter. So aero plays a big role here, especially on the backstretch.
Well, Albert's trying to work both lines up here, Adam. He rides low and until the high line gets kind of a run, then he moves up there. It looks like he's letting Paul Ferdiani get underneath him here, though.
But in 3 and 4, that's where you're going to win it.
Ooh, it's a 42 snags the outside wall just a little bit as he's 3 wide. He's got the 64 of Cale Turbofield. Man, where did Cale come from? Shooting up through this middle past the 12 and that 42. So Cale up into 3rd place here, now chasing down that 2 and 66.
Saving tires. There's some smart ones out here. You look at the 110 of Richard Michelob Gray. How'd he find his way up in the top 10?
Staying safe, staying consistent, staying out of trouble. Yeah, he's up a bunch of spots.
Yeah, that he is, as he is now 3 wide. Oh, he's backing out of it. He was 3 wide there between Justin Lawson and his teammate there, the 12 of Derek Welch. As up here at the front, that 66 able to take the lead, and Cale Turbofield now into 2nd. You got the 2 and the 42. Team America versus America's driver side by side going down the back straightaway here. The 54 of Brandon Coleman also giving a little bit of a push here to that 42 with the 51 of Joshua Moore on that outside line.
The 64 stuck with the 66 there for a while, and it looked like he was going to get stuck in the middle, but he didn't. Cale Turbofield does have help from behind. 66 is trying to work both lines. Let's see what he does here.
This is the interesting spot right here.
I'm telling you. You can work both lines to a point until this happens. Look what just happened here. He got stuck in the middle.
Yeah, he got split,
Yeah,
and
you can't
that
block the whole track. It's impossible.
It's 2 gosh darn wide as we're almost going 4 wide back here for 2nd. Oh, Albert Anderson able to just barely sneak it inside and keep it 3 wide. But, I mean, even then we're 4 wide for the lead. As we come down and across the line, we saw 5 wide at iRacing Super Speedway just a few weeks ago, and we were 4 wide here at Michigan. Man, these guys are battling it out harder than ever.
It's like there's no room to give. They're not giving anything. They're taking everything. And it's making for a awesome race to watch. I don't know what the people at home are thinking, but we've seen several times where we're like 4 wide going to that front stretch.
Gregory Turner says, man, this is some of the best racing we've ever seen. Eric Stoy is saying, go get them, Lawson, Naylor, and Durkee. I'll be back next week. So Stoy was out tonight.
And missing that 4 machine of Eric Stoy. Typically, he likes to stick to the bottom line here, if I do recall. So
yes,
missing
sir.
Seeing that 4 riding around. But someone who's not really missing out too much is that 7 of Rick LePage. one of the Canadians here in this league. He's hanging on to this front group. He's hanging around into, 13th, maybe just waiting for a caution to come out up here at front, seeing all the hard racing action going on in front of him through his windshield.
Yep, and like I said with Skidmore, when he was kind of sitting like that, really good paid place for LePage. Just sit there and watch it as one gets in the wall in front of him. Who is that? It looked like the number.
Oh, 5 of Stephen
5
Naylor?
of Stephen Naylor.
Yeah.
Stephen Naylor.
Stephen Naylor grinding that outside wall as we are 2 wide here for the lead. The 42 and the 64, Winker and Turbeville, a couple of the guys that are on top of our current championship standings, looking to, in Winker's case, close in that gap to the 27 of Curtis Critchley, who's currently in pit road.
Yeah, he's not having a good race, so this is time for Kevin to make some spots up. And I want to give a shout out to Stephen Naylor in the 5 truck. He held that thing on the wall. That's what you want to do. Didn't cause any problems behind him, so good job. You might have had an issue, but that's kind of where you want to be when something like that happens to you. Just stick it in the wall and don't drop down.
Cale Turbeville up here in the 64 Klondike Chevrolet, working the back bumper and the tailgate of the 42 of Kevin Winker, trying to just let him know, hey, I'm here. I'm right on your back end. We'll see if he tries to jump down and make a move, as these guys are bound to go 2 wide again here before too long.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are really looking interesting here. I thought we would have started seeing, tire wear come into effect earlier than this, but I think it's just finally starting to kick in here, as you can see some guys starting to single file out. But not only that, we're going to be getting to about 20 laps here on this run shortly. And I don't know what these guys' pit windows look like, but we might be seeing some green flag stops as your money stop here tonight.
Yeah, I think they're going to stay out there as long as they can until the gas tank's dry, Adam. I don't know what you think about it, but that's probably what I'd be doing. I'd just run it dry, hoping for a caution.
Oh, especially out front. You're in the back. You could maybe kind of try to short pit them a little bit. Yeah. But the guys out front, yeah, you're going to have to run this thing till there's a lap to go. Unless we have a caution. Everybody needs to come down and reset, refresh, and I'll tell you what, they're driving these things after they got it kind of squared away. The last 30 laps have been amazing in this truck with the new update on iRacing.
As they are nose to tail with a little too wide action going on back here. Got people burning tires as they're trying to keep up the pace that's being set here by the 42 of Kevin Winker and Cale Turbeville. Man, Cale not letting go of that back bumper. Same thing can be said for that 2 of Albert Anderson and 51 of Joshua Moore. And man, these guys, when I talked about, we got a kind of quick learning curve here tonight, update night, trying to figure out the new package and kind of this little stuff going on here in these trucks. These guys, man, they're putting on a heck of a show.
Yeah, and we got some takers down at pit road. Rick LePage, Zach Dillon, Eddie Murray, my favorite baseball player, Andrew Hansley, the 4th, and Albert McBride. It sounds like Albert Anderson himself is going to come down here. He's just called it out.
He's going to be pitting from 3rd place under green. Luckily, he was already low down on that lower inside line there. That'll make it a lot easier to get into the pit road.
Man, there's some tough races in English. Have you ever shot dice in Waco?
No, never have.
It's tough.
I try not to stop there. I try to just keep on going.
No, you got to try it for at least one time in your life.
Well, I've stopped at the Big O. I've stopped at the Big O down there.
Well, that's not even off the 35. You got to stop at Papa Joe's and shoot some dice. You maybe get shot between the mother and the other.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I feel like's happening out here tonight. I mean, now we're having green flag pit stops. This is exciting stuff, man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So how long is Kevin Winker going to stay out there, Alan?
Man, that's a tough call because he's got that 64 of Turboville sitting right there behind him. Unless they're in contact with each other over the radio saying, hey, I plan on pitting at this point. Oh, man, this is just a big old game of chicken.
Well, Naylor, Cody Staten, Bay Area Rob all came in.
And
Zach Staten as well.
This is something that we talk about a lot in the races that we see green flag pit stops, and especially when tires come into play. That's splitting the stage up. That's exactly what they did. As we got the official AAA rally train rolling on through.
That means the race is about to get good.
You should have seen me jump.
Oh, well, I jumped too. I think everybody at home, they could be in Moscow or wherever watching this thing jumping. Well, they're probably not allowed in Moscow. Bad reference. But they might be in Mobile, Alabama, watching you and jumping like crazy when they heard that train.
As we got even more takers here, Ferdiani, Durkee, Welch, Griffin, and Lawson all coming down pit lane. Looks like Ferdiani having a pretty good pit stop there, able to only just go that one lap down. Right now you got Albert Anderson sitting in that final seat here, trying to chase down the 51 of Joshua Moore to be the official lucky dog, as Kevin Winker and company try to work their way around. But you can see here Albert Anderson's cruising right around them because of those fresher tires.
Yeah, just unlapping himself. This top 5 guys, they're just hoping that the trucks coming in and trucks going out on this pit cycle, somebody will upset another truck and the caution will come out. It sounds like Kevin Winker is coming this time.
Yeah, so is Brandon Coleman. Yeah, so they're kind of like shooting dice in Waco, right? They gambled a little bit, and it looks like
Oh, you got to.
they had, let's quit gambling. Let's go get some fuel and tires, finish this thing out. But
Well, if you think about it, too, they're going to have better tires than everybody else here, a little bit later on in this race.
and one thing that's interesting, the track is obviously warmed up because they're running on it. It's 78 degrees, but I still don't think that's,
Oh, man.
we're used to those 108 track temps.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, made the
a
racing
gift.
a little, it's made it really, really good, some of this racing. Nice to have a little bit of coolness out here on the track.
As due to those pit stops, I think the 51 of Joshua Moore is going to end up taking the lead here once when he comes down and across the line, and it's going to be a close call here on that pit exit for him.
There he goes.
So Joshua Moore taking the lead here late. 14 laps remain here at Michigan. Great racing action still to be had, as that was close. He almost didn't quite make it around Winker, but Winker just quite not up to speed just yet, able to sneak out and hang on to that second place. But he's got Albert Anderson chasing him down just as quick as he's chasing Joshua down. You got Cale Turbeville trying to shuffle his way up through traffic. Same thing with that 6 of Paul Durkee, trying to make up some ground here as the field is now just a little bit spread out, and everybody now able to get a little bit of clean air on their trucks for the first time.
Check out old Rick LePage working his way through traffic right beside his Canadian brother there in the 27. Let's see if these guys can maybe work together a little bit. We got a little bit of fan crossover action happening as we got Jeremiah Burke and Audrey Sessions.
Turning in three. Let me get.
Oh, yellow's out.
Yeah, big problem in 3, and that was the Staten.
Oh, no, it's still
88. Exactly, Staten got involved in that.
Staten did what he needed to do. He needed to hold the brake and stay put, and he did. but still had somebody come in and smack him.
Well, I'm going to just say it, and it was on his own. I think he self-spun and got hit. Did what he could. New tires, cold tires.
That's exactly what happened. Just a little bit of self-spin. He had some pressure there from the 54 Coleman. Once we got everything... Oh, man, the 110 of Richard Michelob Gray.
He clipped him, too.
Maybe not being able to see through the smoke, man. That's a little bit more than a clip.
I'm gonna give a little advice. I'm gonna give some advice to them Staten boys. He's got a Batman truck. You know, I'm not big on that, but I am big on like Clint Eastwood or something, because they probably would have had a movie about him back in the Wild West days, like a, you know, Clint Eastwood would have
like
done
a
it.
Pale Rider theme.
Yeah, like
or what?
Dayton boys take New Mexico, and they need something like that. I just love the name and the family deal with the Staten guys and the Team America. You know, that's just me thinking outside the box. But
Well,
what are the fans saying out there?
Well, right as that caution was happening, we were talking about a little bit of crossover fan action. Jeremiah Burke here to tell Albert give him hell, and Audrey Sessions saying, "Hey, hey, hey." Of course, that was for the two of Anderson. She
did
said,
have
"Oh, he's in the pit."
Yeah, he had a Fat Albert truck the other night.
Yeah,
and
he did. That was a cool paint too.
it was cool. But man, I like to hear from what the fans and all that. I'd like to hear from Brown though. That's the real race car driver amongst us three. What do you think? It's like a 10-lap deal now. What's going to happen?
It is, and we're getting a little mix of fresh tires and old tires out there. As quite a few people stayed out. I think the top 6 drivers all stayed out, but being Turbeville, Ferdiani, Coleman, Puckett, Dillon, and Murray, all hanging on out there in front. So you were talking about gambling early on. Yeah, man, talk about a gamble here. I think they were looking at the total number of laps that they ran on those tires. You know, Cale and Brandon with some of the freshest ones out there. Didn't pit, you know, all that long ago. It's gotta be close. They're talking, you know, 7-8 laps difference on these tires. With probably gonna be 9 laps to go by the time we get going green here again. This dogfight is not over.
And I know we had some fans out there for Brandon. They kept chanting, "Let's go, Brandon!" So
Yep.
they're hoping number 54, Brandon Coleman, not the other Brandon, is going to work his way to the front here, which he has. See if he can hang on, man. This is going to be a nice little shootout, I think.
Well, you know the 64 wants to get that first win. We've talked to him on the podium before.
Yeah,
I know he didn't sound disgusted at all, but I know he wants to get that first win and really solidify his place here when the playoffs start here soon.
Yeah.
That indeed. Actually, speaking of the current standings, you see here kind of gaps starting to form up late in the season. You got to fight here for that top 10. Zach Staten, Skidmore, Coleman, and Stoy all within essentially 20 points of each other. So that top 10 is still yet to be decided. As Critchley, Winker, and Turbeville definitely are probably going to be in it.
Yeah, we'll start watching these guys around 10th place and see how hard they start fighting each other on these races.
I think it's going to be a hell of a fight as they're coming up here. Brown on the front stretch.
Entering that Geico restart zone, we go back to green flag racing. Cale Turbeville out in front, able to get his nose clean right off the bat as everyone shuffles down and into line. Man, we got a whole bunch of movement going on behind Cale already. We got Brandon Coleman going from wall to line to wall, trying to hog up as much of that track as he absolutely can to prevent some of these guys from making their way through. You got Albert Anderson just getting stuck between truck after truck, trying to make his way up through this field. He's down low underneath that 120 of Zach Dillon. He's one of those guys that stayed out, so It's time to actually see how much of a difference those tires make, as the 8 of Rowdy Puckett also trying to hang on here as he loses some spots to that 51 of Joshua Moore. Here comes that 42.
LePage is around. Into the 12th. Richard Gray involved as well.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Now we're going to have like pretty much a shootout, wouldn't you say, Brown?
Yes, sir. This is, if we were a little further out west, I would say the OK Corral, but
I like that.
Oh, no. I think the 7 was looking to enter down low, but he had the 12 of Derek Welsh underneath him there. Just was not clear.
And maybe
Derek held on to it. DW did a pretty good job there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He looked like who was that? Bobby Rahal or whoever did that in the Indy 500. He did a 360 spin and kept going back in the 80s. Anyway,
I don't remember that.
Do you think these trucks have anything to do with it? With the spotter package, maybe there's not the right amount of communication, because he just came down. And if you had a spotter, you would think that you would have told him it wasn't clear.
We've seen that happen a couple of times. Guys just turned or slid up thinking they were clear, I think.
I don't know. Just we're not in a truck, so we're just kind of thinking about it here.
Speculation.
I was just watching replay. Austin. Is that Austin right there?
Yeah, that was Austin Johnson. Whew.
Yeah.
Now the shootout shall happen, and this is, I'm a champion here, so I'm going to tell you, in the old trucks, 3 and 4 is where you're going to make your money. Survive 1 and 2 in that backstretch, and 3 and 4 is where you can make some money. So just see what they do with their lines and how they hold them, and if they go high, they ride in the middle, they try to block. I think it's going to be very interesting as this thing plays itself out.
Well, Donnie Turbeville joining us on Facebook saying, "Let's go, Cale. Tonight's your night."
Yeah, speaking of Cale, as we take a look out his back window, this is what he has to deal with here in the closing stages of this race, as he ventures up into the pace truck a little bit there. Maybe trying to save a little fuel or something, coast it around. Got that 54 Brandon Coleman all over that back bumper, and you can see Paul Ferdiani, Kevin Winker just in that background. You can see that 2 of Albert Anderson sitting there as well. They are just waiting and ready to get this thing back to green flag, and man, these guys are put on a heck of a show. I mean, we've already seen, 4 wide here under green flag, and they were able to hold it. I don't even want to hazard a guess as to what we might see here in these closing laps.
Well, watching Cale up there playing with the pace truck, I just think to myself, I wonder when iRacing is going to make the pace cars and pace trucks invulnerable, and then they're not going to tell anybody. So
that could be on
up there trying to drive through them. And just,
I would like to see that, where they could. That'd be a real surprise, wouldn't it? But
there's some old NASCAR games where it was. If you had a big pileup,
well,
this car would come through and plow everybody.
It's not a game. This is a simulation. We all know that. But as the simulation rolls by, I think we're going to see an awesome little shootout here. But if I'm Cale Turbeville, I'm a little concerned because I do not like driving with my rearview mirror, and he's going to have to here.
Well, Derek Welch just typed on YouTube stream. He said, "Nobody likes me." We like you, man. We like your team.
Well, I mean, he kept getting
not
hit.
getting much love out there from the other drivers.
He was having some issues.
Yeah, he kept it straight, though. That was a pretty good job there, DW, keeping that thing from getting destroyed.
Yeah, I thought it was he spun it around. I can't remember that race.
Anyway, you're talking about Ray Hall?
Was it? Yeah, it was one of them guys back in the 80s that spun the thing during the race and won it. No, it was Danny something.
Dusty
Anyway.
Smith says, "Let's go, Zach and Eddie." Thank you,
All right.
Dusty, for joining us over on the Facebook.
Well, Brown, here you go. This is your time to shine. Let's see what happens.
That it is. So we got 4 laps remaining. Once when we take to the green flag here, pace truck peeling off down into pit lanes. Time to buckle up, strap on that drinking helmet, throw inhibition out the window. We are green flag racing here at Michigan. Final laps, trying to figure out who's going to take home the win. We got a great restart there from the 64, able to stay out in front. Not too much of a problem there as the 66 of Paul Ferdiani tries to follow him up through the inside. Little door banging action there with the 54 of Brandon Coleman.
Oh, they are tight right there with the 66 of Ferdiani.
And don't look now, here comes that 42 of Kevin Winker with a big run. He's going to take this thing 3 wide here for second. Albert Anderson is not too far behind him. He's also got Joshua Moore and Zach Dillon creeping up there as well, as we're now side by side here for the lead. That 42 of Winker getting a big push here from the 2 of Albert Anderson, trying to get himself up into this lead here. 3 laps now remain. We do have green-white checkers available if we do get a caution, but once when that white flag waves here, man, that's going to be it. No more cautions at that point on, as we're 3 wide with the 66 and the 51 into the 120 as we continue to shuffle our way up through this field.
A lot of guys up here very hungry, trying to get that first-time win. This is about as good as it gets here, boys. As the 75 is around, yellow's out.
My gosh, dude.
Oh, Welch got involved in it.
Albert Anderson and Kevin Winker. Albert Anderson was just following an American flag like America's driver would, and we just had an issue there. Man, that was awesome.
Skidmore came around, didn't see how, but the 12 of Derek Welch involved in yet another accident as he was not able to get out of the way there. Man, nowhere to go.
So nobody likes Derek Welch. I think he called it on his own there.
We need to stop just mentioning people, period. Because
we have to say, do
feels
we just say numbers? I mean, I'd like to talk about the guys, because there's some really cool dudes out here, and you can check them out. I don't either. I don't believe it, but check them out at HCK Beagles RacingLeague.com. You can see the bios and all the cool stuff about these guys. Brown, what'd you see there?
Oh, big old door check is what I saw there from Area Rob in the 408. Just tight racing there. 75 trying to save it. Ends up tagging. Oh, yeah, the 12 of Welch just nowhere to go. Makes the contact. Gets into Austin Johnson as well. And as they go wrecking. Oh, the 5 gets hit of Stephen Naylor. I think Richard Michelob Gray also getting tagged with that one as well.
Do you think it would be outside the box? We still have a whole lap to go to bring Kevin Winker in here to talk about what's left in this race, or am I crazy?
We still haven't got the one to go.
Yeah, no, we're still good. I'm gonna bring him up.
Let's see.
If that's fine with y'all. Hopefully it's fine with him. All right, about to bring him up to the broadcasting booth.
Hey, Kevin, it's the guys up at the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, green-white checker, the first of 3 possible. Are you hoping this is going to be the one where you lock it down? And talk to us about these guys running up front with you.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Albert's pretty quick. I think him and I are the class of the field here today, so he's going to be hard to beat here, but I don't know. We'll see. I know all them guys behind us got older tires. Albert and I came on that not this caution, but the one before, I think, and got 4 fresh ones, so I think we're in the best seats here to battle it out here for the win.
Well, I mean, if you're going to battle it out, you might as well battle it out with America's driver versus Team America. Awesome to see out front. Good luck the rest of the way. Is there anything special you got planned here at the last lap? last few laps here.
Well, I can't give you my secrets, so I guess you guys will have to stay tuned, and we'll see if I can pull something out of the hat.
Awesome.
All right. Good luck to you, and we'll see you at the end of this thing, hopefully.
All right. Thank you, sir.
They didn't want to give us the secrets, so I tried.
It's like the Big Mac secret sauce, man. They ain't just gonna
Oh,
give that
that's it,
stuff
but
out
you-
for free.
It's called Google. You just put it into Googler. You can make it yourself nowadays.
I'm looking at all these guys behind them that have not won a race yet. I'm looking at Coleman, Turbeville. You got Ferdiani there. Puckett got a win, but I think he wants another one.
You're looking at so what you're saying is you're looking at some hungry
These guys are
guys.
going to do anything it takes to win, including turning the 2 or the 42.
Oh, don't turn my man.
Hey, look, one of these
Both my guys
had-
are up front.
One
My
of these
guys are up
guys that has not won a race yet is going to win this thing. I'm going to
All
call it right now, boy.
front. All right.
All right, well, the lights on that pace truck are off, which means we are getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Green, white, checker finish here from Michigan. And man, did you expect anything different? I don't believe so, as here it comes. That green flag is ready. Everybody is on their feet, ready to watch these absolute gladiators have a bout here in the final stage of this race. Here we go, sending it off down across the line and into turns 1 and 2. Man, really no one getting the jump there, as they are still side by side. Albert Anderson out in front on that bottom line. He's getting a big old push from that 54. Brandon Coleman, who's looking to the inside, man. He's even risking going onto that apron to try to get his nose up that inside of that too, and he does. So we are now 3 wide here for the lead. Tight pack racing here. Oh no, little bit of contact. That's going to get up into the 42. We are still green flag racing as they save it. Great save there from Winker, but he's losing out on a lot of positions here. Same thing with the 2 of Albert Anderson, as Brandon Coleman out in front by a good margin. We have taken to that white flag, which means no more yellows coming down and across the line. We have the 8 of Derek Puckett looking up to the inside of the 54. Oh, he puts a bumper to him, sending him around. That's going to cause a absolute mayhem of calamity out there behind him. But out in front, we got that 8 of Rowdy Puckett. He's got the 6 of Paul Durkee looking to the inside of him now, putting a bumper to some paint. Down through turns 3 and 4, Paul Durkee on the inside with a run. He's looking to hang on. The 8 of Rowdy Puckett, trying to find a way, trying to cross him over, but it's not going to be in time, as across the line goes Durkee, followed by Puckett, followed by Griffin.
What in the hell just happened? I think we might have ruined it for Team America and Albert Anderson, but what an ending. Great call, Brown, too. That was just amazing.
Mark
Oh,
Collins.
Yeah, I believe that is a first-time winner. Am I right or am I right? I
I
have to go back and
believe,
look.
I believe so. I think we've seen him up on the podium, just not
Yes,
a
sir.
winner. Mark Collins also up in that top 5. Same thing with the 20 of Justin Lawson, up 15 spots here tonight. Albert Anderson able to hang on to a 7th place finish. Kevin Winker dropped all the way back to 16th from 2nd. Man, talk about a wild ride there. And I mean, we knew it was coming. You could just see how tight that 3 wide racing action was, as that 6 of Paul Durkee sends that Morton Salt number 6 machine through some smoke and burns them down.
Yeah, have fun out there, Paul. You definitely earned it. That Morton Salt Chevrolet out there burning some rubber across the start-finish line here.
Man, and I don't know. Albert got kind of stuck in the middle, and it looks like Puckett might have turned him. I'm just saying, it just kind of looked that way, and he got into the 42 of Winker, which caused that big kind of checkup, but no caution. Crazy racing there, man, for that last lap and a half.
That it was. Well, we're starting to get our drivers here in that podium finish channel. So let's pull on up our third place finisher on the night, and that is Mr. Rodney Griffin, driver of that 97 machine. Up 22 spots, Rodney. You are the hard charger of the day, and you get to take home a podium third place finish here tonight. Man, talk about especially the kind of second half of this race, man. That was some intense racing going on.
Yeah, I'm lucky to even got a top 10 out of that. If it wasn't for all the crashes on the white flag lap and there wasn't no cautions under it, I wouldn't have got where I got. But we were running strong in the top 10 pretty much all race, and then all of a sudden, that last stop, I got hung up on the outside and trapped and dropped back to 15th and just had to work my way up slowly. And then with all the commotion, it ended up getting me a top 3 out of it, best finish I've got this year so far. So,
Well, great job. That Bud Light Apple Chevrolet looked pretty consistent. We did mention you earlier in the race talking about how you stayed out of trouble, stayed out of danger, and I mean that's half of it when you're on iRacing, and you definitely did that well today. How are you doing on tires there towards the end? We kind of talked about once you got about 15 laps or so on a set of tires, that's when you kind of started to feel the fall off. Was that kind of your experience?
well, mine, I don't feel like mine fell off that bad because I run that top groove the whole run on that long
Okay.
run. We only had one long run, and that's when I actually started gaining the position, and I think I got up to 8th place. But with this new setup, when I went into the pits, I didn't pull up far enough, and it cost me a couple seconds in the pits. I had to pull up and get the pit stops, but they did fall off. I got a push right in the middle of the corner, but it was more around lap 18 for me.
Well, whatever you did was amazing. Great job out there. Do you have any shout outs or anybody you want to thank for moving up 22 spots to number
Well,
3? That's pretty awesome, dude.
Well, but for moving up the third spot, it's just a shout out to hoping I miss all the wrecks and everything. But most Southern Outlaws, my teammates, Brian Skidmore, Michael Hicks, we've been doing this for a while. We really enjoy the league. A lot of my problems this season has been wrecking late in the race, and when you wreck late, you ain't got time for a wave around, and you end up finishing towards the back. But that's just part of the game. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying the league, enjoying what y'all do, putting us out there and showing us to everybody, and I appreciate everything.
Awesome, man. Well, Rodney, congratulations on the third place finish here tonight. Kind of looking forward and seeing what you guys can do here in this closing stages of the season, and we look forward to maybe seeing you up here again, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
All right. We are also now joined up in the booth by tonight's race winner, and that's that number 6 machine of Paul Durkee. Paul, we saw you up at that front just about all race long, able to squeak out and get around Rowdy Puckett there on that final lap. Man, talk about that long run that you guys had in that second half of the race, but not only that, but talking about the great racing that we saw here in the closing stages with that green-white checker.
Yeah, the racing here at Michigan is really good. It's a nice wide track. There's several grooves, so the field gets a little bit spread out, but not too much. It's just the guys are all pretty good at holding their lines. The long run, that worked out well. I started kind of at the rear on that restart, so it took me a while to back up through there, but all in all, a pretty good race. I got a little lucky there at the end with a couple guys getting together, but, I'll take it.
Well, you got involved in some action early. We did see you had damage all the way around that number 6 truck. Does that kind of make your heart sink early? When it seems like you've got a really, really tall ladder to climb, but you did make it happen.
Well, it makes you drive the race a little bit different. After you get an early damage and have to use up a fast repair, you take it a little bit easier through the middle of the race. So it makes you drive a little more cautiously.
Well, I mean, you did an awesome job tonight. New England guy, right? So
Absolutely.
you're representing New England. I know y'all are big into Tom Brady and all that, but your truck tonight was a salt car. Are you getting salty out there? What was the message behind that? And how did you feel about the new truck and the update and all that? You think that played in your favor, or was there a lot of changes, or was it not that much?
To me, I didn't notice any difference at all. We did a practice race last night with the old truck, and then I had no practice really in this one. Had 9 minutes tonight, and I didn't really see that much of a difference. You sit a little bit lower in the new truck, so you see a little bit more of the hood. That took a little bit of getting used to, but all in all, it's not a big difference.
Well, congratulations, man. Do you have any shout outs or anything like that? You got to have somebody you want to talk to.
Well, I'd like to thank my dead parents for raising such a talented individual. Start with them. And my old bulldog for not sitting here farting while I'm racing.
Hey, I feel your pain, man.
That sounds like a...
My Frenchie sits in his bed right next to me, and that's all I smell during a race.
Oh, my God. I don't need one of those dogs. But that sounds like a tough New England guy, dude. Congratulations. You won this thing.
In all seriousness, though, I thank you guys for doing a great job. And my teammates, I have some awesome teammates.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll say it for all of us here in New England. We're proud of you. Congratulations, bringing it on home here. The big win at Michigan for that 6 of Paul Durkee. Paul, again, congrats, man, and good luck the rest of the season here, buddy.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And I love to hear that New England accent.
One of your own, Brown. One of your
one of yours. One of your guys.
One of our guys. Yeah, man. Is our on-track reporter, interview person, try to get a hold of Rowdy Puckett, but they were not able to get a clear and concise answer, so he might be drowning some things in some beverages right now, enjoying a second-place finish for him, so the 8 of Rowdy Puckett having a solid race here tonight, but that's it for the racing here at Michigan. And boy, we knew we were going to get a good show, but I didn't think we were going to get 4 wide, green, white, checker, crazy action show.
I think I can speak for Turner. We love plate racing. We love watching these guys run in a real tight pack and stuff like that. But Michigan's just a different animal, and it's so... You never know what you're going to get here.
Yeah,
and, man, we saw it tonight, didn't we, Adam? It was wild.
I agree. I like the plate track racing. It's kind of our favorite. But throw this one in. I like Charlotte. I like Texas. I like Auto Club. But that's what I like to see. And we saw it tonight. Great racing. Didn't see, a lot of stupidity out there in the track. We probably didn't see too much of that. Things happen because of tire wear, and nobody listened to me because I'm a champion. But overall, man, I thought it was a really impressive race by the HCK Beagles Racing League. Check them out, HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com. That's probably one of the coolest websites out on iRacing right now. So check it out. I had a great time. I think y'all did too.
Yeah, that we did. So as we slowly finish things up here, let's head on through and talk about our final finishing order for the night. And boy, we're going to have a mix-up in the championship standings, I think, as a lot of the top people ended up finishing outside of that top 10 here tonight. So let's do our little countdown here, and starting it off with that 6 of Paul Durkee picking up the win, followed by the 8 of Derek Rowdy Puckett, finishing there in second. The 97 up 22 spots in hard charger of the day. Rodney Griffin has taken home a solid third place finish with the 25 of Mark Hollins just behind him here, able to finish in fourth with the 20 of Justin Lawson up 15 on the day for himself. He's getting a solid top 5 finish. You also got the 15 of Cody Staten. He was trying to fight his way up through the field just about all race long. He finally broke through up into that top 10, able to finish here in 6th. Albert Anderson looking very strong up at the front, but green-white checkers are going to green-white checker, and he ends up dropping down into 7th. Still a solid top 10 finish for him. You also had the same thing happen to the 51 of Joshua Moore. He was looking very strong here tonight, finishing in 8th, with the 24 of Andrew Hansley having a very good night to finish up there in 9th. And rounding it all out here is your favorite baseball player, the 33 of Eddie Murray.
Yeah, the 66 of Paul Ferdiani. I really thought he had a shot, and he really did. And, man, heartbreak for Paul. As there in the closing laps, was leading some laps, and just he looked dominant. He was the truck to beat there on the last few laps. Cale Tuberville, same thing. I mean, you thought maybe this guy was going to get his first win. I'm sure he's disappointed there as well tonight. He finishes in 12th. Zach Dillon in the 120 finishes in 13th place. Rick LePage up a bunch of spots. From 21st, finished in 14th. The 5 of Stephen Naylor dropped down quite a few spots. That is not really what he wanted to do tonight, as the 5 finishes in 15th. 16th place is the 42 of Kevin Winker. And what can you say? He was one of those guys that was out front quite a bit, fought his way back. Rodney Griffin told us, he said, the late cautions is what's going to get you, and those are the ones you can't recover from. You don't have enough time. So Kevin, involved in one of those late ones, finishes in 16th place. Bay Area Rob Chowdhury in the 408 will finish in 17th place. Curtis Critchley, still your points leader after this race. He still looks like 14 points up on Kevin Winker, and 30 points up on Tuberville, so still a little bit of distance for him as he leads this league standings so far. The 22 Albert McBride, we saw him have a late spin in that Harley Davidson truck. It's finished right where he started, though, right there in 19th place. And rounding out your top 20, the 54 of Brandon Coleman. He was one of those cats, too, that I thought, man, he might get his first win here tonight at Michigan.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving up and down, unfortunately. For the 75 of Brian Skidmore, ended up 21st. 19 of Austin Johnson, not much movement, but 22nd. To the 12 of Derek Welch, he moved down a little bit. He ended up in 23rd. The 110 of Richard Gray started 24th, ended 24th. He's the oldest guy in our racing. So good job keeping up there, Richard. 88, Zachary Staten. Fell a little bit to 25th. Number 1 on Matthew Jones. We saw him have a little issue there and ended up 26th. And our man, Gregory Turner, looks like he's not even racing, man. He's taking care of the race control and all that. It's his league, and they're doing a great job. HCK Beagles Racing League. Check them out, hckbeaglesracingleague.com. And that'll round it out, boys.
That it does. So, with that, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, as you guys are all the reason why we do this, is to hang out and have some fun with you guys. Without you, we wouldn't be doing it, and got to always support the ones that give us some joy in life, and that's all y'all. So thank you. Also, big thank you to Davidson Builders. Go check them out at davidson-builders.com, as they've got some great work that they do all over their page. You can see some of those custom kitchens and bathrooms and all the stuff that you typically want to remodel. Man, go hire a professional like Davidson Builders, especially if you're in that kind of New Jersey, New Yorkish area, as they can go and help you out and make your kind of dream and imagination of what remodeling designs you want done to come to fruition. So like I said, reach out to them at davidson-builders.com. And that's it here for tonight. Tomorrow night, we've got some Vigilante Racing League, so we're seeing these trucks in action once again as we are headed into a mile and a Homestead tomorrow night.
Homestead, yeah.
Miami Homestead. So that's going to be a great show at a very flat and fast racetrack. So definitely you want to be tuning in and watching that one. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.